Hello, Vice Chancellor, Dean of Students, Assistant Dean of Students. You all know me. My name is Anna Kelly. I'm the current Panhellenic President, and today I have a proposal for ensuring the success of the Panhellenic sororities on CU's campus next year. Right now I'm a graduating senior, so I've been involved in a lot of student organizations over the last 3.5 years. I've had the best time doing it. It's been one of the most rewarding experiences of my college career, and I had the benefits of going to a CU Parents Association meeting with all of you a couple months ago, and one of the big topics at this meeting was student involvement and how to increase student involvement on campus. And so I want to focus on one student organization today, which is the Panhellenic Association, in terms of increasing its growth and success in the future to increase student involvement. So many of you know the benefits of student involvement in general, but I wanted to present some research that shows the benefits of Greek involvement specifically. For one, there's increased critical thinking abilities among Greek membership, higher levels of academic and social involvement, as well as gains in interpersonal and leadership skills. This might come as a surprise to some, given the negative connotation of many Greek organizations on campus, but this is academic research that's been presented in journals, and it has shown to be a causal relationship between Greek membership and these traits rather than just a correlational direction. So the current state of the Panhellenic community, just to give you guys a brief rundown of trends, accomplishments, and relationships. One of the trends which I'll talk about in a minute is growth. Also, effective risk management and events has been very effective this year. Accomplishments include academic excellence. The Panhellenic sororities have a higher GPA than the all-women's GPA on campus. We've also established the Order of Omega this year, which is a Greek honor society. We've made many philanthropic contributions, and we reestablished the judicial board on campus. In addition to that, we have greatly improved our relations with the university and the Interfraternity Council, which have proved to be a great asset to us this year. However, despite those accomplishments, there are a couple factors that I've identified that are hindering the growth and success of the Panhellenic community at this time. And these include unsustainable growth, poor leadership development, and low morale. The growth of the Panhellenic community has been enormous in the past couple years. This graph displays the number of recruits for the Panhellenic recruitment for the past couple years. And as you can see, this dip right here was during our spring recruitment periods. But then when it got switched back to fall recruitment, there's been a growth of 8.5% on average over these years. And in the past 2 years when we've had fall recruitment, there's been a growth of almost 24% each year. And my point in showing this to you is that these current levels of growth are completely unsustainable. The chapter houses are bursting with people. The programming can't accommodate all of the new women, and it's really hurting. It's kind of counterintuitive, but the growth of the community is hindering its growth in programming and development in general, and taking away a lot of the benefits for many of the women. Another problem is leadership development. While I don't have specific data to demonstrate this, I do have personal experience with this, and also I have a quote up here, which is from the Panhellenic recruitment consultant, and she says, "These young women are hungry for a mentor." Basically, in my experience, the advising for Panhellenic and for the chapters is very decreased, and it hinders the ability of the leaders to create programming within their chapters, and it kind of decreases the morale of the community in general when there's no leadership development. It also takes away a big benefit of being in the Greek community, because if you're going to be a leader and there's no ways of training yourself, then that kind of takes away that benefit of Greek membership. Also, another problem right now is low morale. This is mainly surrounding the period of recruitment, which occurs at the beginning of fall semester, but it also kind of filters off, because the recruitment is at the very beginning of the semester, it kind of trickles down to the entire semester and the whole year. This is a quote from the Director of Academic Affairs, and she says, "Sorority women dread recruitment year-round. It's not fair for any student to have the expectation that their grades will suffer because of an extracurricular that enriches their life." So recruitment is such a demanding process that it really takes a lot out of the women, and makes them feel like their Greek involvement is hurting their college experience rather than helping it. So that's really hurting us at this time as well. So those three factors are all factors that are hindering the growth of Panhell at CU. But in order to determine what to do about it, I did a root cause analysis. So the first factor that I address is low morale. And what I found is that low morale is actually caused by unsustainable growth and stress leadership. So these two factors contribute to the first factor. Secondly, what contributes to unsustainable growth is that the community can't expand right now, and this is for a number of reasons, including a lack of advising, housing, and things like that. So the community can't expand unsustainable growth, and that leads to low morale as well. Also, there's a lack of leadership development, which causes the leaders to be very stressed because they're not prepared for the situations that they're put into, which causes low morale within the chapter houses. But what has contributed to both of these factors is a lack of a Panhellenic advisor. So if we did have a Panhellenic advisor, we would be able to expand the community by adding a 10th chapter to campus, which would decrease the total numbers for all of the houses. And also we would have much more increased leadership development within the chapters and the Panhellenic board by having that advisor there who has Greek advising experience from their past and just knows what they're talking about, rather than us coming in fresh-faced and not having any idea how to lead this really large community. So I've identified this factor as what we need to address in order to address the three factors that are hindering the community. So in order to get a Panhellenic advisor, we have to pay them. This is the trick to this entire thing. Through research, I've estimated that the salary of a Panhellenic advisor would be approximately $45,000 a year. And there's two steps that we can use to obtain this funding. First of all, we have to ask the university for help. And due to current budget cuts with the university right now, I understand that their funding is significantly decreased, so we'd have to reallocate funding rather than finding new funding. And there are two positions currently that are very inefficient positions that work in the Greek life office that we could eliminate and reallocate that funding towards the Panhellenic advisor, and that would total $8,960 a year. Then in addition, we would have to add money from the Panhellenic side, so we'd have to increase our chapter dues. And in order to do that, we have to increase the Panhellenic dues by $10 per woman per semester, and increase the local sororities by $8 per woman per semester. And that would give us, all of that together would give us a total of $45,104 per year, which would cover the cost of a new Panhellenic advisor. And measures for success, there are three things that we would need to look at in order to make sure that this is actually helping the community in the long run. First of all, increase morale. It's a difficult thing to measure how women are feeling about the Greek community. It probably changes by the hour. But basically what we'd have to do is do a survey every year for the next 5 years and design questions surrounding how women are feeling about the community at the time. Next, we would have to make sure that the process of extension, so adding a 10th chapter, would be initiated by the end of the next calendar year, so during the term of the next Panhellenic board. This is a very complex process, and I know many of you in this room don't exactly know the intricacies of it, but it's very complicated, and we would like this process to begin by the end of next year. Also, next year, during the next boards, we would like to see a trend in older leadership. Right now, a lot of the leadership is heavy within the sophomore class, and we'd like to see a lot of the juniors and seniors leading the Greek community because they have the most experience in order to do this. So if these three things start to happen next year, we will know that the Panhellenic advising has helped the Greek community. I've actually started implementing this already, and I wanted to update you on the progress. Currently, I've been in negotiations with the university already, and actually, the scenario that I presented earlier, where Panhellenic was paying most of the compensation for a Panhellenic advisor, actually isn't the case, fortunately, and the university has offered to pay half of the salary of a Panhellenic advisor. However, we are in negotiations right now about the salary because they estimate that $45,000 might be a little bit too much, so we're trying to figure out what exactly that salary would be next year. Any questions?
Yay.